Hey guys, I'm apparently available to do a few more moments of stuff because I'm stuck at a stop sign on a very irritatingly busy intersection here in front of Landon Park. Super annoying. Always has been. I don't know why I went this way, because it's a Saturday morning and I didn't think it was going to be like this. I guess this would be another series on the why I am how I am. Another part of the series, or if there's a series, or just a video about why my views are the way they are. Starting off, I don't want to say I was raised, but my family religious background is, alright, you ready for it? Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah, you pick a group of freaks, and that's where I get my beginnings. My grandmother on my father's side was super religious, but she wasn't as limited in her worldview as far as she accepted other religions, and she thought that everybody, just because they were religious, they were fine. Whereas my grandmother on my father's side had all the paperwork and the Illuminati and all this and that, which my other grandma did, but she wasn't as weird about it. The Pope was the Antichrist, the devil, and she had all the pamphlets and the propaganda and the rhetoric and everything, and it was annoying. At about, I don't want to say 11, 12 years old, I was trying to find myself. I couldn't figure it out. My parents did a very good job at not saying, this is the religion you need to be. Actually, my mother, she was questioning herself. And she told me the other day, she said she's always questioned it. To this day, we have not collaborated on our, she hasn't said, okay, well, now a confession, this is how I know. It's just, we found it on our own. She helped me find it by not forcing me into any particular gig, which is the way it should be. I saw through her and my cousins and aunts and everybody that religion is just weird for people. Back to my grandma, and when I was about 10, 11, honestly I don't even know. I'm missing some pieces of my childhood that, for different reasons, and that I'm still working on that. I had some emotional things going on, but I couldn't. Oh shit! Checking out this broad in the Toyota, and oof. Anyway, the thing I tried to do was, I wanted to please my grandmas because they were into this thing, and I wanted to, she made it very clear that religion and God and people who were all about it pleased her, and I wanted to please my grandma. So I went to the church things, and I did the baptizing thing, and the robe in the hot tub, and the Duncan booth for Christ or whatever, and it was all great, and everybody was oohing and ahhing, and Grandma was just about the same. She wasn't, I didn't get any feedback from it other than, all right, you did what you're supposed to do, now let's move on. I was looking for that. Honestly, I was looking for that. So I kind of fell away from that. My grandmother was, she lived in Georgia, so she wasn't right there all the time. My other grandma, my dad's mom, she was a little bit more reasonable about it. If I wanted to do it, I could have just gone to her and say, hey, let's do this. She would have been, okay, fine. But otherwise, she didn't really give much of a damn. I started wondering when I was taught the stories of Adam and Eve, and you know, it's the classic, Adam and Eve is it, and then, you know, they do something they're not supposed to do, and God punishes all of humanity because of one little batch of people. And then this almighty, powerful son of a bitch has this entire, you know, planet, which is actually a little tiny speck in the, you know, in the whole big picture. But instead of just going, everybody's gone, he has a flood and has to prove this and that and wipe out everybody except for the animals. And yeah, no, and I kind of went, that doesn't make any sense. And then my grandma, after telling me these stories for years and going, you know, the Noah and Adam and Eve and the only women and the only people, and then when I went to her and said, well, how did everybody come from just? Oh, it's just a story in the Bible. Wait a minute. The story that you told me growing up, I understood it as this is how it is. But now you're telling me, oh no, that's not it. It's kind of it, but this is how. It kind of left me with a, grandma's been bullshitting me. I just been had by my grandmammy. Bitch done took my ass to the cleaners, filling me with bullshit. And then I got to thinking, wait a minute, if that's the case, why? Why change the story? What is the real story? And I started reading more, and she said, oh, you need to read the Bible. You know, really? People who are religious, I don't think they read the Bible. They can't. They, you know, the book is only so big, and preachers and people make their. Wait a minute. This is an idea for an entire different video. I'm not gonna tease. Yeah, I'm gonna do something on that one. But you know, people who are religious, yes, they have Bibles, and they read the Bible. They read the little pieces that make sense to whatever they're going through, or whatever the preacher is having the sermon about at the time. That is how the Bible works for people. That's how religions use the Bible. The preacher will design an entire 2-hour party or seminar, or, you know, money gaining whatever over around, you know, 4 or 5 paragraphs in a 2,000-year-old collaboration of short stories written by who knows who. And that's where the Bible comes from. That's how it's meant to be interpreted in short little bursts. You read the whole thing, like I started to do. I was thinking it was going to be like a, you know, you have a book or a story, you have a beginning, you have a setup, then you have the stuff that goes on and character development and blah blah blah, and then you have some conflict, and then you have some resolvement, and then you have some more conflict, and then that conflict, you think everything's good, and then all of a sudden, bam, and then blow, and then next thing you know, everything's great. Now the Bible just sucks balls. That's all there is to it. So it made me start thinking when I started actually reading the book, the way a human would read a book, not the way a Christian or a whatever would read the book or have the book told to them. So that was the beginning. So around early teens, I started really questioning, and that's how I got my start. Now my recent activism, yeah, that's another story. But I hope you guys hang around, play along. See, I'm about to run out of time, and I gotta go have fun, stay grounded.